Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Ask Michael. Once again, the reason for doing these segments is for you to be able to ask questions as a buyer or seller. Any questions you have, please put in the comments section and I will answer them after this event so feel free to do that. That's the purpose. In any case, today is mistakes that buyers typically make or assumptions that they make. So the first thing is looking at a home without being pre-approved. Why don't you want to do that? Because that's going to lead to disappointment. A lot of times if you're going out for pre-approval, you're going to think that you can qualify for more than you do. So what's going to happen? You're going to go out and you're going to fall in love with a home and then you're not going to be able to buy it. You don't want to be there. The next thing is you need to be pre-approved. To get pre-approved, you need to provide all your documents. What some buyers do is what I call piecemeal, or they send out their bank statements, and then a couple days later they're going to send in their pay stubs, and then a couple days later they're going to put in their tax returns. Get everything together, submit everything at one time. If you work with me, I'm going to give you a list of documents that are usually required. If you have a special situation, then the lender might ask you for more. The next thing is, a lot of times, let's say you go to college and you get a degree and you go from a $60,000 job to a $120,000 job. Or you have a job where requires a lot of overtime. So a lot of buyers think that, oh, I'm making 120 now, I can get a loan for that right now. That's not the case. Lenders require that income level be sustained for a period of time. And it varies. A lot of times it's a year. Sometimes it might be 2 years. Maybe you have to pay more up front to get a loan like that. But you need to talk to a lender to do that. The next thing is there's a difference between a direct lender and a mortgage broker. A direct lender has a short list of things that they can provide for you. And that's okay. If you have a bank that you've been working with and you like that bank, then that might be the right thing for you. But if you have a specialty situation, one like I just mentioned, where you your income drastically improves, or you work a lot of overtime, or you have a risky job, any of those things, you own a house and you want to buy another one. Any of those, I would go to a mortgage broker. Or disability. Maybe you're on disability and you make a decent amount of disability that you can still buy a house. You want to go to a mortgage broker. Why? Because a mortgage broker works with a large group of lenders. They find a lender that fits your specific situation. So don't assume that you qualify for a certain amount. And there's a lot of different requirements out there. And a mortgage broker is going to be best suited. They can get you the best rate. They can find loans that a direct lender won't be able to provide for you. The next thing is the type of pre-approval that you want. You don't want to go online and try to get a 5-minute approval. Why? Because you're not going to input the information necessary to really qualify for you for that loan, which is why you need to submit all your documents so that you know exactly what you're going to qualify for. You also got to watch going online and picking a line because they have the best rate. If they have a significantly lower rate than what's out there, there's an issue. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay what they call points. So they might charge you 2 or 3 points to get a rate that's 3 or 4%. So Another reason to go to a broker. You don't want to work with a lender that tells you what you want to hear. You want to work with a lender that tells you, that's straight up with you, that tells you exactly what you want and what you need and what you qualify for. I just had a situation like that where I worked with a buyer that I worked with before. I recommended that he submit all the documents. He didn't do that, and he ended up being unhappy with the lender that I recommended to him. But he had a special situation. It required him, he would have been better served submitting all the documents so that he knows exactly what you want. Because what happens, even if you go just try to find out what you think you might be qualified for, a mortgage broker or even a direct lender, they're going to make assumptions. A good direct lender or mortgage broker, might tell you a little less than what they might think you qualify for. And your closing costs might be a little higher so that they can take into considerations things that you might have left out. Maybe your credit score is lower than what you said, or you don't have the income, or you can't verify the income that you said. All those things make a difference. And also just trying to get that information up front so that you can try to make an offer on a home only to be disappointed. The lenders that I work with aren't going to sugarcoat things. And they might tell you something you don't like, but what they're telling you is good, solid information. So if you want to know exactly what you're going to qualify for, you need to submit all your documents. The other thing that makes people frustrated is not knowing what you want. If you're buying by yourself, it's one thing. If you're buying with your spouse, significant other, partner, investor, whatever the case may be, you both got to be on the same page. You got to both know exactly what you want to buy. What are things that you must have that you can't do without, and things that you would like to have. So what those things might be an open concept. Might be you both work from home, so you need 2 office spaces. You don't want to share. Maybe if you're a man, you want a man cave. There's various things that are important to you. Schools, being close to, within walking distance to an area where you can get coffee or buy a few groceries. Be on the same page. I will tell you that the more homes you look at, the more frustrated you're going to get. Narrow it down. If you look at more than 4, 5, 6 homes, you should find one of those that you like and you should be able to make an offer, or multiple homes that you like that you want to make an offer on. You get past 6 and you're going to start getting at that frustration level. And that means you don't know what you really want. And maybe once you get your pre-approval, you need to survey some areas or look online and see what you can get in what areas so that you can narrow down what and where you want to be. But you've got to do that so you're not frustrated. In any case, this is a longer segment, but I thought all these things that you need to know when you want to go out and buy a home. And the more information you have up front, the more things you put together and work with your spouse or significant other or partner, the better off you're going to be, and you're going to be happy. So for more buyer and seller tips, please contact me or text me. You can also just email me, whatever you want. I'm a no pressure guy. My goal for you is to make sure that you have and know and understand everything that you do. My number is 925-570-5130. Thank you very much. Happy New Year and have a great day.